Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another video. My name is Pat from the Like Attracts Like podcast and Like Attracts Like Evolution Mentorships. And today I want to focus on a topic that has really been driving in many questions lately. And that is, how do I let go of the opinions and projections from other people? How do I let go of what other people think? You may have heard the expression, if you don't know who you are fully, then you're relying on other people's opinions of who they think you are to dictate how you navigate your day. So today I want to talk about two very important things to consider when you are trying to break away from the idea or the older paradigm of thinking, which says that we must believe what the projection of other people says about us in order to dictate how we feel about how we navigate our day. Stick around. We're diving in deep when we come back. All right, here we go. So the two things that we need to consider when we are looking to let go of what other people think of us, it's one, considering the power we're giving the other person to imagine that their opinion has some weight in our own version of our idea of who we believe we are. So if we don't know who we are, if we don't know who we feel truly that we came here to be, then we will rely on the opinions or projections of other people to tell us that. And we'll try to bounce around getting love from other people to validate us inside when we aren't giving those emotions or that experience to ourselves. So the opinions that we have of the other person based on the power we're giving them to make us feel some type of way. The second is the degree that we believe what the projection is, whatever it is that they are saying that they think of us, or even if it's just some abstract idea of you just need everyone to like you, or you want to people please, you aren't doing well yourself unless you can make sure that no one in the world has any ill thoughts of you or doesn't perceive you to be something other than whatever you're trying to put out into the world. So again, the power that we're giving the person. So if this is something you're trying to navigate or shift through, who comes to mind? What comes to mind? What thought, what idea, what narrative comes to mind when you are thinking about something that you wish you could let go of? And then separate the story itself, the thing, that the comment or the vibration of narrative from the person, and weigh those two things out individually. So are we giving the person power and just whatever they say is affecting you because of what you need this person to think of you? Or is the person irrelevant and you are giving power to the comment itself? Here's why this is important. One is validation from another, meaning we have been programmed to believe that some people outside of us that are important in the world can tell us how we feel about ourselves or should shape how we navigate this world and what we could or should or can do with ourselves, with our actions, with our body, with our thought processes, with what we do and say and think and how we are as people. We've been programmed to believe that certain people in the world have that power over us. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if it's not the person that you're giving power to, but it's a thought process, then it represents a belief. It represents some kind of a belief system that you are holding on to and maintaining the momentum of on your own. So the narrative that's shouting at you, the unconscious critic that we talk about, is shouting this belief system at you. And when you hear it from another person, there's a belief that matches that frequency and it triggers you and you feel emotionally sensitive to it. So here are two examples that I want to give that maybe can help bring some clarity into this situation. Abraham Hicks says it best when she talks about the power that we would give a person based on our story and the relationship that we have to whatever it is that they are making us feel in our minds. That if someone just called you on your phone today and said, hey, Pat, I don't like what you're wearing. I don't think you're good at anything. I just think you should go for a walk, take a hike. That's my opinion of you. But I have no idea who this person is, and I'm never going to talk to them again. Then you would just hang up on that person. It would have almost, you might be questioning it for a little bit, but it would have absolutely no power over you. Like, you don't know this person. So therefore they have no context to what they're saying. Therefore, it doesn't trigger almost anything inside of you except for maybe just an annoyance, and you hang up. That person has no power over you. So therefore, what they say, it does nothing. And the second example I'm going to give, it's called the colored shirt example. I talk about this a lot on the podcast, but so here I have this gray shirt on. If I put the shirt on and I like how it looks and I don't care what anyone thinks, then I can navigate my day. And regardless as to what anyone else would say about it, I can be like, thanks for your opinion. No big deal. Like, I love it. Doing my best, and I'm just going to not listen to anything that you say. If when I put this on, I have some kind of like a I don't know. I don't know if I like it very much. And I go out for a walk. And then someone's like, oh, that shirt, I don't know, gray doesn't look that good on you. Maybe you should try a different color. But that's going to rise all of the insecurities in me that I had on my own, that I allowed for myself first. So there, it's not the comment, it's not the person, it's the fact that I had a belief system about what I was wearing beforehand. This thing was a projection of that frequency that was thrown at me. And because I believed it or was hesitant, it triggered me and I feel bad. And now I might go change my shirt. If someone were to come up to me and say like, oh, red shirts don't look good on you, dude. I don't think you should maybe wear red anymore. I think you should try to change, put a different color on. Red's no good. This is the example of it's not true. I don't have a belief. There's no, I'm not wearing it. It's out of context. So the same thing, same players are at play. There's a human, there's a statement, and then there's an object being you and representative of what they think about you. And this is the beautiful thing. So if I'm wearing a different color shirt than someone says that you don't look good, that I don't care what you say. It has nothing to do with it. I'm not triggered by it. It's only if I have a belief system because something you're saying matches what I believe. Evidenced by the fact that in the first example, if I love this, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think, nothing. So this is the difference between walking around in the world, not knowing who you are. That is when you will care what other people think. So why is this important? Because as we were growing up, we were told and we were taught how important it is what other people think of us, to put your best foot forward, to make sure you dress up because so-and-so's coming over and you're going on a job interview, dress your best. And we were given all of the reasons that we should do these things, meaning the reasons were outside of ourselves. Very seldom, and most likely you wouldn't be listening to content like this if you were one of the humans, where they had guidance from someone that was like, no, find out who you are truly, and then be that person authentically in the world and be the expression of that. And other people will respond in a way that matches. And if they don't align with you as a person, you won't care at all. That energy will repel you. Not many of us were raised like that. We were raised that here's why you do this. And the reason that you do this is because of something outside of you that needs to approve of you. This is where we started to develop the idea that we would sacrifice ourselves and who we are, sacrifice who we want to be, what we believe we are worth, to present something in the world to someone else to approve of us. And we began to get into this experience where we were in a loop of sacrificing ourselves to get love from someone else. And that other person is equally in an opposite way doing the exact same thing. And this is where the energetic frequency of that momentum matches it. So it's not until you decide for yourself that you now know and are aware of the two catalysts that start this emotional uprising and upheaval inside of you that is still inside of you, honestly, unless you've purged it. This is why you walk around triggered by what other people think of you. It's representative of all of the times that you had to suppress who you really were because the initiation of our inspiration was not coming from the most authentic place. It was coming from, again, this idea that we need to be something for others. We need to be who we are and love that, so that when any projection comes at you, you know fully and firmly who you are. And that way, anything that is not meant for you will repel you. But it also puts you in a position where you're so aligned with yourself in this authentic balance, where if there's constructive criticism, you can allow it. You can take it. If someone were to be like, I don't know, maybe try something else. Maybe put this on that. Maybe do this. Maybe you should do that. There's no ego involved that's trying to protect your insecurities from whatever triggering mechanism it is. And you can allow that constructive criticism and you can take it or leave it, but it's not emotionally affecting you. So the two things, again, remember, what power are you giving the people that you care what they think of you? Who are they to you? Why is there this pedestal that you're putting them on that goes beyond just constructive criticism? And maybe I could take your advice and I'll mull it over and see what I can do, versus it's affecting you emotionally and triggering you and allowing you to feel differently about yourself. What is this person, or who are they, and what position are you revering, or what status do they hold over you that you are giving them power to make you feel some type of way? And the second one is, if it doesn't matter if the person is who the person is, if they say something you don't believe is true about you, then you will also let it repel. It'll bounce right off of you. So again, it's not the person, it's not the thing, it's your belief about the person or the thing that allows you to be tied to what they say about you. So if you can separate these two things as you are going through your process to try to let go of what these people are thinking, you will see that you're giving your power away in one or both of those areas. And you can go through a process or a system, if you will. I prefer journaling. I use it every single day, and I teach it in courses and sessions every single day. But you can use anything that works well for you to get to the bottom of why you have given your power away in previous versions of your life experience to people, or to just the grand abstract idea of the concept of the collective needing to approve of you. If you can do this, you will find the source of where those triggers were created, and you could sit with those versions of you and actually form a new relationship, one that allows you to be your authentic version in this moment, unapologetically, with no need for validation from another. This puts you in a very, very powerful place, because again, this is not about egoically standing above all and not caring what people think. It's about being so secure with who you are that regardless as to what comes to you, you can make sense of it from a balanced point of view and use the things that maybe can constructively help you or guide you towards your highest version, or this thing that you're being called to do. And anything that is lower energy or lower frequency, you can recognize the lie of that immediately, and you can toss it out of your awareness and toss it with the trash. I want to leave you with one little bonus thing to consider, because when I say toss it with the trash, it's really, really important, because that is what the collective version of our lower frequency thoughts and ideas about ourselves from our unconscious critic represent. It's the trash of your experience. But since we can repeat these things and we are aware of them to the point where we think that it is us because it talks in our voice, we have a hard time letting go of it sometimes. We have a hard time letting go, not even after we get past the collective and letting go of what they think. It's letting go of our own story that has been repeating it for so long. Like, who are you without this horrible story repeating all these terrible things to you all day? And what happens is that place where it's repeating and shouting all these negative beliefs at you, it feels like home. It's wild to say that, but that uncomfortable place feels like home, and we don't know sometimes who we are without it. And it's going to want to use that to its advantage. The ego mind will try to use that to its advantage as you say, no, I'm no longer going to give my attention to that. I choose to let it go. As you go about your day trying to let it go, and by definition of letting go, I just mean no longer giving your attention to. To let go of something means to no longer give your attention to. So if you're having this experience come up that's triggering all of these voices of what people have thought about you in the past, and you say, no, I understand the illusion. I was giving power to that person, or I was, falsely believing these limiting beliefs about myself, and I'm going to shift this energy. I choose to no longer do that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a replacement, right? Something else that you're going to think, something that is more in alignment with what you're trying to do and get to. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, you are working on shifting this narrative. So you're going to give your attention to the new thing that you want to create, not the old thing that you no longer serves you. But in a vulnerable moment, this is going to pop back up. The trash is going to come back up and be like, you need to look at me. You should look at me. What about all this? And what about all this? And what about all this? Once you determine that it no longer serves you, again, by becoming very, very aware of what these thoughts or beliefs that you are letting go of are, don't run from them anymore. Knowing what they are, face them. Don't be scared of these things anymore. They cannot hurt you. Just look at them and face them and address them. So that way, when they come back up in your experience, you know what they are. From this place of knowing what they are, when they come back up, trying to pull you back down into the unconscious, you can say, no, I've thrown this out. I no longer, I don't hate it. I don't judge it, nothing. I know it was necessary. Thank you for your service. I no longer need to give my attention to you. I'm giving my attention over here. Know that once it comes up and you have allowed it to leave, every time it comes up, dead it, stop it, immediate. Don't listen to the lie of the trash that says, you need to look at me more. Come back down here. There's more. What about this? What about this? What about this? None of that. And again, I say that once you have dealt with it, once you have faced it and called it out as a lie, if it's not that, then you would be running from it. So like I said, if it's trying to get your attention and you're like, no, because you are scared of it still, then that's running from it. So that will create more of that in your life. This is after that point, and you've absolutely deaded it. You've addressed it. You've looked at it. You've done the shadow work. You're good. There's going to be a point where, like the bully in the playground, when it has no longer got its grip on you, it's going to shout the loudest. Be aware, and I feel like awareness is key in this. It might keep coming up to try to bring you back down. Once it is done and you're aware of it, no longer give it your attention. Shift your attention to something else. And in that place, you will find a very, very powerful realization, and that is that nothing, no one, and no belief has power over you unless you choose to make it so. Nothing. You have to give it permission. You have to allow it. There has to be something inside of you that believes it. And if there's something inside of you that believes it, that is the work. That's where you start. That's where we start. We try to figure out how this got here and how to rectify shifting it and transmuting that energy. It is possible. You can do this. And eventually you will get to the point, if you're not there already, where I believe the ultimate human subjective goal is you will be able to do this without even the need for any external source like a me or whoever you listen to. This is an internal job. And although we are inspired along the way by many other humans who have been on the journey is an internal one. And once you find the tools, how you can shift and navigate through this process yourself, you will be self-sufficient on your spiritual journey, just being able to live authentically, and then also as a byproduct, inspire other people to do the same thing. And that is what I wish for each and every single one of you. Have an amazing day, wonderful night, and I'll see you next time.